We're at a high point of spooky month, and that means something special. This year marks the 45th anniversary of one of my fave Halloween must-watches, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I'm celebrating by sharing Richard O'Brien's critically underrated follow-up, Shock Treatment. Of course, to handle this beauty alone would be criminal. That's why I'm joined by John from Narcotic Casserole, who not only knows these incredible movies inside and out, but has played them on stage.
When I kicked off, I was doing the Transylvanians, but then I also did, then I did Brad, then I did Frankenfurter, and worked with a lot of troops down in South Florida. Every year, whenever Spooky Empire has a Rocky Horror, me and a whole bunch of friends, we all get together and we do a production there. And I've performed for many of the cast members of the movie, especially Barry Bostwick, Little Nell, and Patricia Quinn, and they are all wonderful, mischievous individuals, and I adore them all.
Without further ado, this is 1981's Shock Treatment.
Okay, Lou Adler, Michael White, racist name.
His life was fast. His friends were fast.
Still waiting on this guy to say, "Wee doggies" at the end of this. You know, gotta have a little Buddy Epson in there. Why are we talking about the Beverly Hillbillies when we should be talking? Oh, that's right, because Shock Treatment was actually designed to be something of a satire of America's television culture. There we go. I just brought it back.
Yay!
Yay! This whole overture is done in one continuous crane shot, and I'm always blown away by anyone who can follow in the footsteps of De Palma and do anything in one continuous crane shot.
Agreed. And you look at, that coming from Orson Welles as well.
Oh yeah, big. That's another fine example. I mean, that guy dug a hole in the studio's floor in order to be able to get a shot low enough. So I guess the first major thing to note, originally, this was meant to be a bigger film. This was supposed to be the Brad and Janet show, and it was meant to be shot over various locations in the town of Denton. However, due to an actor's strike, actors were forbidden to film on location. So they had to rewrite the script to have it all set in a TV studio. Morning. It's morning in America.
I don't know, the pink hat and the red coat, I'm just not feeling it.
Okay, they're called scissors. Don't use them as floss. Okay, that is some psychological warfare right there to put someone in a Denton in that cage.
That feels very Harry Potter-esque right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think of the palms either, like either on their shoes or on their hands.
As you can see with the multitude of extras, costume designer Sue Blaine actually raided every single thrift shop she could get a hold of, and she just put all the clothes on a pile and just stick the extras on it and just let them cherry pick like everything they wanted in there.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is how they dress their extras. Okay, she's totally zen. She's not even watching the sewing machine.
She's gonna sew her fingers together.
And no, that's not John Candy in the audience.
Damn it.
Yeah, like the sheriff from the Blues Brothers got kicked out for his failure to handle him.
Orange whip.
Yeah, orange whip. But I believe Clifty Young was up for Brad and Rocky Horror, but I guess they went with Barry Bostwick because I guess they consider him more bankable. I don't know. Clifty Young is much more dysfunctional husband in a Stephen King miniseries.
Isn't that every husband in a King miniseries?
Yeah. I guess the show is a little bit more entertaining than Fox and Friends.
That's not much of a bar, honestly.
Well, this entire studio is fueled on coffee and donuts.
I can think of worse ways to go.
Yeah.
Someone's going to throw the broad at him from the audience.
Yeah, probably. This is a very easily impressed crowd.
Yes. Well, most studio audiences are, if we're honest.
See, now for me, this is my first exposure to Jessica Harper in general. I mean, of course, horror fans know her from Suspiria. Other cult film fans know her from her debut in Phantom of the Paradise. And while, of course, debates have been raging on about who's the better Janet, just because I think she's a much better singer, I'm going to go with Jessica Harper myself. Dun, dun, dun. Casino Brother is watching. Is it me or just whenever I see a flower like that, I always want to see it squirt? It just has to squirt. Oh, he just got the joke from 5 minutes ago.
So typical Midwest audience.
Her smile. I think it was the first thing, my first thought when I saw her the first time, I was like, whoa, she just did a full-blown Nicholson Joker smile.
You want to know how I got these scars? Different Joker, but
Yeah, I was about to say Stan Winston.
Who's Inside the Heart? The new game coming this fall.
All my coronary. Now, granted, I always say to people that this movie works better when you keep it self-contained. But the one thing I gotta say on that it does work as a sequel is that I can actually believe after the events of Rocky Horror that Brad and Janet's marriage would be a lot like this. Because one of the main things about Janet's arc in Rocky Horror was that she started becoming more awakened. So she probably would have come from that whole experience being a lot more confident in herself, whereas Brad would probably be confused as hell.
And his hair would definitely look like that.
Well, after having sex with Tim Curry, I can't blame him. In the original script for Brad and Janet's show, Brad was in the kitchen while he sings the song, and Janet's in the bedroom. So if you notice, the correlation of the appliances they're singing to are conducive to the kitchen and the bedroom. See?
Makes sense. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Vibrator versus blender.
Yeah. Can't they be both?
Sure, absolutely. Well,
there's the reason they call it the magic bullet, and I think that's Dr. Scott's wheelchair painted white.
Nice. And as you said, I mean, this isn't the first time that stuff from Rocky Horror shows up.
Yeah. Oh no, a lot of it will, and I will point it out throughout the run. The funniest thing about Nation and Cosmo McKinley, there's again more headcanon speculating that Nation and Cosmo are in fact Riff Raff Magenta in disguise, and they've returned to continuously mess with Brad and Janet's life. Ow, ow, ow. Who the hell does not notice that going right in his neck? Oh, there's little Nell. And that's not just a fancy nickname. She is little. She is tiny. I having performed alongside her, she is so tiny you could fold her up for safe storage in the overhead compartment of any airplane. She is that tiny.
Well, her boobs are right there, are good pillow height for Brad. But yeah, I'm sure she's probably got prostitute hoofs on.
Prostitute hoofs, is that what they call it where you're from? We just call them hooker heels. Yeah, look at these Coke bottles Richard O'Brien's got on his head.
Oh.
Apparently, according to him, he could not wear those things for longer than 10 minutes. He always, like, in between takes, he had to take them off, like, immediately.
I can imagine. I wore glasses like that when I was a kid. Yeah, I can imagine. Oof.
Oh, look at him.
She's like, where the fuck am I? I've been walking down these hallways forever and I keep running into shit. Finally.
You think, it would be nice to have the, like a mall map with a "You Are Here" sign. That would be lovely. That would be great. And the fact that he's golfing in the kitchen.
Don't you? I do.
I could, but that tends to be a little difficult when you're boiling pasta.
Point taken.
Yeah. Oh, now the funny thing is, these three guys are actually part of I believe, are part of an army choir or something like that, and they didn't know jack about what the hell they were singing about. They just knew to sing that particular spot. They had no idea what the heck they were singing about. For the longest time, I've always said there are only two people who could get away with wearing frills and ruffles: Jimi Hendrix, John Pertwee. But I think I've discovered the third, Barry Humphries as Bert Schnick, and only if he's Bert Schnick.
Agreed. Although Lloyd Christmas and Dumb and Dumber sort of pulled it off a little bit.
Okay, fair enough.
Where do you find red blinds? Honestly,
I don't know. I guess they ordered from the Dario Argento catalog. I guess I don't know.
There you go.
During filming, Barry Humphries actually came to Patricia Quinn and actually asked her for insight into what the hell the movie was about.
Probably not a bad idea.
And Patricia Quinn, actually, she herself was like going, I don't know, I'm just doing everything with conviction. Kind of just, which sometimes if you don't get the script, sometimes that's the best way to go. I gotta go. So do you think they work at DTV?
No.
No.
Yeah. Well, logos are important. You want to make sure that you know exactly where you're at.
Maybe that's why all the people who work here are so angry, is because the walls are red. I mean, maybe they need taupe.
You don't wear a bow tie like that and drink tea.
Oh, I don't wear bow ties in general. Oh no, with all due respect to Matt Smith, but I can't stand bow ties. My feelings on it are similar to that of David Mamet, where he said, never trust a man who wears something to accentuate his ears.
I just straight up don't trust polka dots.
That's a full metaphysical existential discussion right there. I suppose I'll only trust black polka dots if the Beatles are dancing on them.
I will watch you make sure that your teeth are clean. Ha ha!
Well, hey, you know, those cavity creeps can be like freaking terrorists.
Yeah.
And another thing that doesn't happen in musicals very often, an entire musical number done entirely in one shot.
Oh, that is cool.
You have kids and your cell phones and your selfies that automatically switch over to be able to take the selfie easier. We had Polaroids and we had to deal with actually like pointing it directly at our face and hope to God that we ended up getting it all in one shot.
And shaking it afterwards.
Where'd these guys get blankets?
They manifest. It's the power of 80s TV.
I get, oh God. Maybe it's like an airplane. Maybe these seats are like airplane seats where, you know, they got them like under the seat.
Yeah, they'd almost have to.
He's trying to send her to the Phantom Zone.
The
Phantom Zone.
Do you think he sews better than the other chick?
Considering he gets a full sequin dress done within the span of a verse, I think it's safe to say, yeah, he's pretty damn epic right there. I mean, this guy's wasting his time on Denton Vale. He should be on Project Runway. Dude, someone's got to clean all that up.
She didn't care. She's wearing a little black
dress.
She
doesn't. You put on a dress and automatically you're not thinking about the little guy. Man, she's not even on TV yet.
I never do. I mean, you put me in a skirt and I stop thinking about everybody.
Well, yeah. Well, you put me in a skirt, I'm going to be thinking I'm in a skirt. Oh wow, DTV hired all the untethered from us.
The rest of them are all out back. Like, when are they going to let us in?
Yeah, so I'm knocking on the door, going, "Oh!"
Her eye makeup is on point.
It is. Blends with the background.
Yeah, it does.
Oh shit, I think I broke it.
He's having a trouble with his cigar. He's doing the Bill Clinton thing.
Oh yeah. For the days when all it took was a cigar to destroy a presidency. Whoa, what is he doing? What is he doing? Whoa, okay.
He's just enjoying the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing the cum face of Sarah's dad from The Craft.
I didn't expect as much cross-eyedness, if I'm being honest.
I'm going to say this to Kirk. That is false advertising. That is not a corner. That is a stand.
She needs to stop playing with her button. Why does he have a ball gag?
I guess he was starting having Frankenfurter flashbacks, I guess.
Different kind of balls.
Maybe. You got to be careful when you say the term sequel, because immediately people are going to assume that it actually abides by that concept. So that's why in a lot of the advertising, particularly afterwards, they maintain it's not the sequel, it's the equal.
Right.
And a lot of times I'll tell people, even if they haven't seen Rocky Horror, I'll say, go ahead and watch this. Actually, it might even be better to not watch Rocky Horror and watch this. So that way you can have an even better disconnect.
Right.
But even then, I keep telling people, this movie, tonally, visually, even the music is so different that it might as well be its own movie. You don't even...
Oh, yeah.
Heck, it could be the big Denton shared universe kind of thing. You ever think about how long it takes to print out a giant picture of Cliff DeYoung?
You know, not him specifically.
What would that do to you if you saw a picture of yourself 100 feet tall?
I would probably light it on fire. Nobody needs to see that shit.
Oh my God, they're giving her the Sid Vicious mixer.
Yeah, don't drink anything pink ever. That's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
And I say this as I'm drinking a pink beer.
Unless it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yeah.
Or Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's dressing war.
or oh, dang it, you did it better than I did. This is me when my parents were trying to plan my future.
Did you have that same look on your face?
Exactly the same look, and I think I was in a straitjacket and a ball gag too.
So some good, some bad.
Yep. And my mom forced us to be Tic Tacs too, so I never want to open a door to Birch Nick sitting on my bed ever.
No, me neither.
That, on the other hand, I'm okay with. And I walk into pictures of Cliff DeYoung on my TV all the time.
Hey, makes sense. Well, and the fact that they use the hallways the exact same, but they just change the color.
And I love how they have the fluorescent lights lining the walls. And they probably just changed out the bulbs for each of these scenes. Why is it I'm expecting Smooth Criminal to start popping up and Michael Jackson? I'm expecting Michael Jackson to come in and launch a quarter into a jukebox from like 100 yards away.
That was a talent of his. She wants him to press her buttons.
This is Janet. I mean, all Frank had to say was, but isn't it nice to get her to...
Ooh, the terminal ward.
Oh, wait, does that mean Brad has cancer?
It could also be a train station.
You know what? Let's say it's a train station. Let's say Brad is going to platform 9 3/4,
Scandalous.
I think she was just practicing for her reach around with Farley.
I would have. Hello, nurse. No, thank you, nurse.
Has he been up there like the whole time? There's not even a bathroom up there either.
No.
I think I'm convinced in order to live in Denton, you have to have just a complete absence of a digestive tract.
Well, you know how in Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling made it so all the 18th century wizards just magic their poop away? This is that.
I think that might have been one of the chapters from Order of the Phoenix that she actually did have the good instinct to cut.
Yeah, hopefully. That's not her heart, you silly goop.
Oh my God, it's like what Gary Coleman's parents said to him.
I think she might have a problem.
Yeah, she's missing her pants. Oh, you meant Janet.
Well,
Another recycled prop. There's Frankenfurter's throne, again, repainted.
Nice.
Here in my car, I feel the safest of all in cars. And George Michael?
Yep. I don't believe those guys are real doctors.
Yeah, I don't know. Given the healthcare system, I think they probably are. Oh no, they actually tried to get a lot of as many of the actors from Rocky Horror as possible. They did actually court Barry Bostwick and Susan Sarandon to come back. Barry Bostwick wanted to come back, but he has scheduling conflict. And Susan Sarandon, because around that point she was pretty much becoming Susan Sarandon, so she pretty much. And I think she was the one they weren't really that crazy about bringing back. Because they're nice about it, but I think they've said they didn't have a great time with Susan Sarandon on Rocky. They actually tried to get Tim Curry to come in and play both Brad and Farley flavors, and he was jazzed to come back. He wanted to do it because he loved the idea of playing dual roles. It's just unfortunately at the time he couldn't master the American accent.
That would be hard.
There's like no trunk space in that car.
No.
That thing is automatic. If you're a cosplayer and you're going to Dragon Con, that car is worthless.
No room for dead bodies too if you're a murderer.
No, none whatsoever. But then again, that's Bush League. You got to eat them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, if you're a musical theater buff, you got to eat them.
True.
It's Halloween. We could talk about cannibalism.
Oh, totally.
This whole sequence of them like going around the labyrinth and all that is going to become even more embarrassing when they do that shot where it looks down and you see the real thing and it turns out it was just like a circle.
Well, you're talking about 80s TV people, so
yeah, I guess they just kept making right turns because everything was right in the 80s. See, I love how this whole thing is about him just sexing up sanity, and basically sanity by their standards. That's the freaky part here, is that if a corporation can make something sexy enough, they can sell it to a public and make it in demand to the point where people are willing to give themselves to it. This is basically every Thanksgiving in my house. I still did, by this point, still did not make the connection that both these guys are Cliff DeYoung. I still legitimately thought that these were just two guys just doing a regular duet with each other. And then when the credits popped up saying Cliff DeYoung played both of these guys, I was even more blown away by the fact that I just saw one guy do a duet with himself.
Yeah. Even the way they sing. Like, there is such a different way to how they sing.
Exactly, where, Farley's much more like 80s hair, like rock, where he's like, yeah, you lost your heart. And then Brad's just more softer.
Again, it's got a lot of layers. You can enjoy it on so many levels.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not a good kiss.
Yeah.
He tried to eat her face.
I love it. They're handing out free straitjackets, and people are just like, they're treating them like they're Beanie Babies, man. That's like.
Well, in the 80s, straitjackets, Beanie Babies, Same basic idea. If it's free, they're there. No, camera guy, come on. You're supposed to be smarter than that.
Yeah. Now you just killed the realization. What's happening with the audiences at home watching this? All of a sudden, the entire station just cuts out. And everyone's like, well, wait a minute, I want in.
Tour of the Worlds all over again.
It's like, are they committing themselves to their local insane asylum affiliate?
Yeah, it makes as much sense as anything. In the words of Mystery Science Theater 3000, we should really just relax. I wonder how shit stained those seats are.
You beat me to it. I was gonna say, yeah, don't sit down. Those seats are probably wet.
At the very least.
Ladies and gentlemen, the inner workings at Amazon's workhouse. Oh, the apocalypse just happened. That's why everyone sought refuge in this TV studio. It's the mist is outside. They're gonna go out there and be attacked by giant spiders and giant Cthulhu monsters.
Having you alongside, especially loving trivia, I just am blown away. Like there's a love of this movie now. I've got to get out and get the DVD just because it's such a cool experience.
So now, to this day, I keep telling people, guys, this movie prophesies so many things, like so many things that no one even thought was a thing. From here on in, I actually love to call this movie the Tron of musicals, because much like how Tron prophesies a lot of things as far as like the way technology was going, this movie perfectly prophesies a lot of things that were going to happen in the entertainment industry. And even though it was satirizing a lot of things about conservative Americana in the 80s, unfortunately, as we've seen, that seems to be a kind of loop that we kind of fallen back into. So I think people just need to start loving this on its own terms, kind of in the same way people have started to learn to embrace Season of the Witch or Texas Chainsaw 2.
Special thanks to John for joining me. Make sure to check out the Narcotic Casserole channel for incredibly unique content like the Cinema Schlock Society and Comfort Flicks. You'll find his links in the description below. So what do you think? Suggestions for movies, trivial questions, comments, ratings, and my very own twin to have a musical duel with would be appreciated. Thank you so very much for watching.